Hello, I'm going to do this quick dowsing. I just picked it up now, so I'm not really connected, but I am connected. I had a good sleep. I wanted to, you know, I'm kind of not following the Q things that much. That's why I put a link and say if you want to follow it, go ahead. It's interesting, sort of like a blow by blow description on that level. The real battle is a spiritual battle. It's above all of that. But the enemy, the dark state, the Luciferians, actually use all the dark beings, you know, the archons and things of that nature. They use them in their battle. And as we measured, that part is disappearing. I want to just show you really quick. Could you show me a 10 for 1900? All the entities that were on Earth. Okay, this is the Earth plane influence on the Earth plane. This is the dark matter, 100. Okay, could you show me 1960? So 1960, we're about at 75%. So it's already starting going down. 2000, 2000, 2000. Not much. I'm down to, I have to have patience a little bit. Let's call that 65%. It's probably 60%. 2010, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. 2010. So we're 25%. 2000, what is it? 18 today. 2018. We're really, really low. So the dark side is really weak right now. Okay, let's put it at 20% remaining from 1900. And then, of course, when I go to 2019, it just pops over to almost whatever, almost zero. 2020. I think I did it really exact one time. It was like 2021 when we really shake them off. But see, we get rid of the bulk of them, and you can see that the dark side is weak. Now, I was listening to a Q type thing, and it's a link I sent you. There's a few people out there that do it. I mean, you can go read it yourself. You can go to the Q board on 4chan and 8chan, and I did that a month or so ago. I mean, you can just learn how to use it and find them when they post, and you can interpret them yourself. I mean, some of these people are very smart, and some aren't. And you want to be intuitively accurate as well. So they were complaining about. He was noticing people were complaining about Alex Jones in this individual called Zack. My first hit of Zack was he was kind of fake. He doesn't speak like an educated individual, which would be a high government employee inside the government. He's using too much of a street dialogue, I thought. And Alex Jones talk him, you're in my inside. It's almost as if Alex Jones went and got this person to counter Q because everybody was leaving him. I don't know if this is true, but everybody was for expertise going to the Q board or anyone who can do that. And I would suggest to Alex Jones to kind of do a Q board analysis, on one of his shows and try to make it succinct and interpret it in about 3 minutes. It's just like mine. If I go up to 30 minutes, no one's listening to me. If I say 3 minutes, 70% of the people will go all the way through 3 minutes. But 30 minutes, I get like 10%. I'm not saying that's it. But that's going on. So anyway, two things. I think Alex Jones is a complicated individual. And I think I first saw him, I watched him when he was in his garage on a card table. And the card table was kind of movie shaking, because they're cheap. And he was interesting. He was interesting. And I think he has a lot of people with that gung-ho-ness, to go out there and butt heads with the world. you need to be complicated. You need to have some mixed up stuff in you emotionally. And so he has a lot of conflicts going on. But his overall goal is accomplished. You can nitpick, like, in the Mideast conflict, is he taking sides? Is he throwing out red herrings? Yes, he does. But it's he's citing a lot of actual studies for, let's say chlorine or fluoride in the water and things. He's done good work there, and you can't take the good work away from him. Now, I kind of douse quickly. People are saying, well, he's not backing, because I don't watch him. So, occasionally I might see something. Anyway, I just douse he's like 85% behind the president. So those who are saying he's attacking the president, then he's doing it for another reason. He's on board. Now, Zack is like totally negative. He's not with the president. He is a red herring. He is not who he purports to be. He has an agenda. We'll leave it at that. He has an agenda that's counter to the president and the average person in the United States. He represents something else. I don't care. I don't want to go there. I could spend an hour and figure it out. I can do that. But I don't really care. It's not important. So, Alex Jones is using Zack for some goal, for ratings. That's what I think. He thinks, well, I need my cue, so I'll listen to this guy who claims to be such and such. This guy is not that. He is not who Alex Jones thinks he is. All right? Now, but he can go get his own psychic readers and stuff. He can do, Alex Jones should just go out and do it, or go to a Christian psychic. They have them. They're people who belong to an evangelical church. But once you accept a church's doctrine, you accept the whole complete, the level of the frequency goes down. We already know that. It's not a fun world. So I just wanted to say that, I respect the work he's doing. He has big holes in, what he's telling you. Yet, overall, he's been the battering ram. He's been doing the fight, and I do appreciate that. And he's gotten a national market. He's been syndicated. And in a way, as you get bigger and bigger, you have to sail out more and more. And, it's too easy to look at him and to say he's a sellout. But, yeah, it's kind of true. But he's at least he's doing some opposition. If you want to get more of the truth, you're going to have to find people who are not affiliated with things. That's the difficulty. And anyway, so I think Zack is a fraud. I think Q is totally honest who he says he is. And it's probably a group of people, all right? And they put this, it's like a PSYOPs operation for the average American. Now, don't forget, Trump's agenda was 50% for the average American and 50% for the power structure. That's why you see so many Goldman Sachs people on his team and things like that. He has a representation of both. But since he's been president, he's gone up to 65% the last time I checked a couple months ago. The office of presidency is changing him even more. The average American has never had 65%, probably since John F. Kennedy. Everybody else was compromised and to varying degrees. And 65%, we need more. The people need more help. And this is of all races. We can't fall for race wars. The immigration thing is just totally wacko. They're using it to defeat all Americans of all races, is to crush you, to replace the American culture with another culture. That's what it's doing. And the American culture has been the most successful culture for prosperity for the average man. That's all it is. You get food on your table, and you're taking that for granted. I'm watching the wheat production, and I just went there a few days ago, and it's pretty far down. in particular Kansas winter wheat, which is they're going to harvest that, I think, starting now for the next few weeks, goes to about mid-May, and then you plant the spring wheat. So we'll keep our eye on that, and I think it's very important what the crops are. I do eventually, I'm not saying it's this year, but it's eventually going to go up 50% food. Well, when you double that, that means you're doubling the price of bread, right? So instead of being, I don't know what wheat is right now. Let's say it's $4.50 a bushel. Let's say if it goes up to 7, we got problems. That's really big. And do we export the food? You know, China's bought a lot of farms, and they're going to export that food to their own country. Are we going to stop it if we need it here? So that's not. I know people foresee that, but I never. We produce so much food, you know, between Kansas and North Dakota. It's really amazing how much. Let me see. What was I going to check? Okay, here's everybody's belly of hunger. I don't think anybody should be hungry in the United States right now. So we're 0. Where are we 1 year from now? And that's hunger. They call that negative 10% more hungry. Yeah, people are going to be hungry. It could be an issue. Wait a minute. Give me the issue, please. That's 1 year. 2 years. 2 years. 3 years. I think food can become an issue. And I can see that 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, it can start showing up. So keep your eye on the winter wheat production, in particular for Kansas and North Dakota. And then we'll look at the spring production, which is October, I believe. October, they start harvesting it. And sometimes they get late rains that can really increase production by a lot. So I'm hoping for rain. I think they did get some, maybe. And those are some of the things just to keep off in your side. Don't be fearful about it. We all need to lose weight anyway. You know, if I could talk more about that. I doubt when I'm going to die. I did that. And then I go, well, what if I lose 30 pounds? And the number of years I live increases dramatically. And I'm kind of saying that, and in some ways, when we get into that, we don't have a lot of food, we're not eating, you're kind of getting into a metabolism that's very efficient, and all your fat and your arteries are cleared out. You end up living longer in a way. So the healthy diet is actually a semi. I don't want to go there. I just wanted to talk about Q and Zack and Alex Jones. I appreciate people that are out there doing the battling ram, but a lot of them don't care about you, and they have another agenda. Bye-bye.